Welcome to the Success Blueprint, strategies to build a life and business you love. This is your go-to podcast for success in both life and business. I'm your host, Daniel Craig Johnson, and as a seasoned life and business coach with 15 years of experience, I will be sharing powerful stories, practical tips, and valuable insights on personal development, leadership, entrepreneurship, productivity, motivation, and more. Join me every week for the Success Blueprint, strategies for building a life and business you love. Let's ignite your success. Welcome everybody. I hope you had a great week. And this week I am talking to you about the art of influence, persuading without authority. I'm sure you found yourself in the situation where you have great ideas that could drive real change, but you do struggle with getting buy-in from your team members or from your peers, maybe even from your superiors. And we always talk about topics that relate to either business, but can also have influence in your life and affect your daily life. So this is for everyone, not only for business. The ability to influence and persuade is a superpower, and it can accelerate your career and help you achieve your goals. So in this episode, I want to give you some practical techniques to master the art of influence, learn how to win people over with empathy, connect through storytelling, and motivate others to take action. I want you to discover the power of framing and how subtle changes in how you communicate your ideas can make such a huge difference. Whether you're aiming to lead, change, gain cooperation, or simply win others to your way of thinking, these skills will help you to become a persuasion pro in no time. I want you to have an energizing conversation with me that will inspire you to spread your vision and make a bigger impact. The power to change minds is always within your reach. So follow along and we will discuss some ways how you can maximize your communication and persuade without authority. So let's talk about the psychology of influence. Why do people say yes? Well, if you want to get people on board with your ideas without having to pull rank or without having to come across authoritatively, the key is understanding what really motivates us as humans to say yes or to agree. We all have an innate drive for three things in life. First is autonomy, the second is relatedness, the third is competence. When we tap into these psychological motivations, we pave the way for influence. That's how we reach people. So autonomy means giving people freedom of choice rather than demanding compliance. Suggest options to people and let them decide what works best for their needs. People are much more likely to commit to something they've actively chosen. They can take accountability. They can be part of it. They can feel like they're integrated. So when you give people a choice, it is easier to get their buy-in. The second point was relatedness. And it refers to our need to feel connected to others and to share and to feel similar. Building rapport and showing how your idea will benefit them personally. Speak to their interests and priorities. When you talk to them, make eye contact, smile, engage with them in a genuine, enthusiastic way. Your energy and passion will be contagious. There's nothing more persuading than a good energy, passion about what you're talking, passion about a subject, passion about driving change, driving ideas that will get people to buy in. And finally, competence means helping people feel capable and empowered. You have to provide tools, resources, and support to them in order to succeed. Break down large requests into manageable steps. Offer encouragement and help them develop confidence in their abilities. When you appeal to these three motivations, autonomy, relatedness, and competence, you create the conditions where people are most open to influence. And they'll support your vision not because they have to, but because they want to, which is so much more impactful than because they have to. I promise you, guys, that's the art of persuasion. So what is the principles of ethical persuasion? Because when we persuade, we don't want to manipulate. And yes, in business environments or business settings, sometimes small little hints of manipulation might come in there, particularly when it comes to sales or understanding how to influence people with marketing and put those underlying messages in between the lines that then manipulate people to want something, or we create desire in people. We create scarcity. But there's also principles of ethical persuasion. So when it comes to influencing others, it's all about connecting, and it's about connecting on a genuine basis. The key is understanding people's motivations and speaking to them. Follow the principles and you'll be persuading from a genuine point of view. Focus on benefits. Explain how your idea benefits them, the circle of people that you want to influence. Will it save time, money, improve well-being? Will it help the environment? Tap into what really matters to the audience. You always have to understand what audience are you trying to send your message to. Understand what motivates them. Understand what moves them. And you can use that and then create more powerful messages that suit their needs and their forms of communication. Establish credibility. Share your experience and expertise. Explain how you solved similar problems in the past, and help others to see why they should listen to you. If you don't have credibility, people will think, but why would I listen to you? Why would I take your advice? So it is really important to create credibility. Connect emotionally. Facts and figures are important, but people are persuaded by emotion, not only facts and infographics and presentations. Share stories and examples that help others feel what it's like to experience the benefits of your idea. Help them visualize the possibilities. When you talk about possibilities, and when you can share stories that will make them understand why this message is so important for them, they will be more likely to relate, and they will be more likely to accept your ideas and your reasons and the idea that you are pitching. And address objections. Anticipate doubts and concerns. Explain how you'll mitigate risks and obstacles. Be transparent about challenges. Don't try to hide them. Your persuasiveness depends on building trust and credibility. And trust and credibility you achieve when you are transparent, when you don't hide the negative sides that might come with a change, but when you can persuade and inform people that the benefits of the change are bigger than the risks of the negativity. And when you address objections, you get buy-in easier. Compromise when you can. Be flexible and open to input. Incorporate feedback and suggestions when possible. People are more likely to be persuaded when they've shaped the outcome, when they've been part of the outcome, when they've been part of the solution or the change. Ask thought-provoking questions. Get people thinking about the issues and challenges you want to address. Ask open-ended questions like in coaching, so you can spark discussion and engage interest in possible solutions. That will create accountability. That will create the impression, not only the impression, but the feeling that the people that you're addressing are part of what is happening. In the end, persuasion is really about collaboration. Focus on listening, build trust, find common ground, and work together with the people towards a mutually agreeable solution. With patience and understanding, you find that persuading others can be an act of partnership rather than coercion. And what you don't want to have is making it look like you're trying to manipulate for your own interests or for your own benefit or for the benefit of the organization, for instance, only. So when you build trust and credibility, you have to focus on listening, transparency, and consistency. People will believe in your ability to influence them if you show you care about their thoughts and you are upfront in your communication. Listen actively by giving the other person your full attention. Make eye contact. Don't look at your phone or other distractions. And pause occasionally to ask follow-up questions or summarize what they said to confirm you understand. People will trust you more when they feel heard. Be transparent in your communication, explain your reasoning and intent, share relevant information, and admit when you make a mistake. Don't hide anything or bend the truth. Authenticity and honesty build credibility. Act with consistency, which is very, very powerful and overseen so many times. Follow through on your commitments and be reliable. Do what you say you will do. People need to know you have integrity and your words have meaning. If circumstances change, communicate that as early as possible. And a few other tips to keep in mind. Share information that supports your key message or requests that you have to the group or to the people or to the organization. Back up what you say with evidence and examples. It's important that you make people understand numbers, infographics, pros and cons. Admit what you don't know. There's no reason to know everything. No one expects you to have all the answers. Say you will look into questions you can't immediately address. Highlight your relevant experience and credentials so that people understand you are familiar with a topic and there's a reason why you are suggesting change, why you're suggesting to change an operating procedure or an SOP. Help others understand why they should trust your opinion or judgment on a particular topic. But don't overstate your qualifications. That might seem overdoing it, trying too hard, and will then again create a lack of credibility or a lack of trust. And express confidence in a constructive way. You want to appear self-assured but not arrogant. Focus on the issue and forget about your ego. This is a very big point. Forget about your ego. Ego doesn't have a place in healthy communication. Building trust and credibility takes time and consistency. But by listening well, communicating openly, and following through on your word, you'll find people become more willing to be influenced and persuaded by you over the long run. That's the art of gaining influence without authority. Next point, frame your message. You've got the message, now it's time to frame it in a way that will resonate with your audience. To persuade without authority, you need to make a genuine connection and appeal to what really matters to others. This is your chance to share your vision in an inspiring way. So when you frame your message, focus on the benefits to your listeners. Highlight the positives that will come from the change you're proposing. Explain how this will make their lives easier, solve key problems, or open up new opportunities. Your enthusiasm and passion will shine through, making your message even more compelling. Try to use vivid language and examples to help others visualize the benefits. Stories and specifics will bring your ideas to life in a memorable way. Compare where things are now to where they could be in the future, creating a vision of progress that people can get excited about. Appeal to shared values and common ground. Look for ways to align your goals with what really matters to your audience. Focus on the greater good and how this will contribute to something meaningful that you both care about. Speak to people's best interests and priorities. Keep your framing positive and constructive. Avoid rehashing past problems or complaints and steer clear of language that is antagonistic or judgmental. Take the high road, focusing on solutions rather than blame. A positive, can-do attitude will make you much more persuasive when you try to address people and you try to drive change or new ideas. If you frame your message around benefits, vision, values, and a positive spirit, you'll have a much better chance of winning people over. Help them see what's in it for them, where things could go, and how this connects to the big picture. With the right framing, you can motivate and inspire without any formal authority at all. And that is beautiful. That is a superpower. Persuasion is all about making the right appeal in a sincere, enthusiastic way, without trying to manipulate. The next point is sharing the vision. The key to influencing without authority is sharing an exciting vision of the future that others want to be part of. When you cast a vision that taps into people's aspirations and desire for growth, you ignite their passion and motivation, and you help others see what's possible. When I coach, I try to make people understand what do they want and what could their life look like if they achieve that. So, for instance, if they want to lose weight, I could use a Cartesian question and ask, what would happen if you wouldn't go and work out and lose the weight that you want to lose? And then in return, I can ask, what would happen if you would go to gym, work out, and lose the weight? And just by sitting down and concentrating on that, people will take the time to really reflect, because very often that's what we don't do. We don't really reflect on those questions and we don't sit down and really work through them. And just these two powerful questions, these two powerful Cartesian questions that I asked just now, if you take them for a second and you sit down and you apply them to something else in your life, or to leadership, or to change, growth, you will see how powerful of a tool it can be. So for example, as well, you might say something like, imagine how much more effective and impactful our team could be if we all shared our ideas openly and built on each other's contributions. We could establish ourselves as real innovators and leaders in this company. Or think about how much we could accomplish if we streamlined our processes using the latest technologies. Now, for instance, with AI. Not only would we save time and money, but we'd all feel a huge sense of pride in modernizing the way we work. An inspiring vision gives people a reason to push past obstacles and naysayers. It fuels their motivation and passion. Your role is always to keep that vision alive by continuing to articulate it with energy and enthusiasm at every opportunity that you get. Describe what progress and milestones will look like along the way to keep people motivated for the long haul. When you share an uplifting vision of progress and success, you give others a goal to work toward that is bigger than themselves. And that makes it exciting. That makes it great. You motivate them through their values, desires, and their spirit. That is the art of influence without authority, persuading through passion and vision. Spread your enthusiasm and help others to see why they should care. And you'll be well on your way to motivate and mobilize people to take action. Provide proof, social proof, and build consensus. If you want to persuade others without relying on your title or position, focus on building consensus and social proof. People are more likely to be convinced when they know others agree with an idea. Share stories of success. Tell the stories of others who have successfully implemented your suggestion or suggestions that you are making. For example, say something like, another team piloted this new process and reduced errors by over 20%. Stories are memorable and help people visualize the benefits. Highlight what respected colleagues think. Mention that industry experts or key executives also back your proposal. For instance, note, leading analysts have identified this is a key trend for our industry. Referring to respected external sources adds credibility. So when you draw lines like that, or you draw similarities to other successful stories that might have been influenced by change that you have made or by new systems that you have implemented, that will drive credibility. Discuss who else is on board. Note that other teams, groups, or companies have already adopted your recommended approach. For example, say over 50 of our key clients have started using this new policy with great results. Know that others have come on board reassures people your idea has merit. And that is what people want to know. Because why would they follow your lead if they don't know, if they don't have examples where you have been successful? It's very easy if you have a track record for change, a track record for implementing new systems, and that credibility has been proven already. But anyway, following these principles can reassure people over and over again. Ask open-ended questions to get people talking about the benefits of your suggestions. Once a discussion starts and consensus builds, people become personally invested in the idea. Questions like, what do you see as the main advantages of this plan? Or how could this new system improve the customer experience? Can spark constructive dialogue. And constructive dialogue will bring different opinions with different viewpoints, and someone might play devil's advocate, and it will bring you a bit of a vision of how to approach the risk management side of it. What kind of reputational risk could be in that change for us? Could there be maybe impacts on our organization that we don't see, that we haven't discussed enough? So it will help you to identify and even further better the system or the ideas that you are proposing. Address concerns by acknowledging other perspectives. Recognize that there are other valid ways of looking at the issue to seem balanced and reasonable. For instance, say something like, while some argue this may not work in all cases, many others have found it highly effective under the right circumstances. Acknowledging counter-arguments helps your position seem well considered. Using social proof and building consensus are powerful ways to influence others without relying on authority or your position. Highlighting success stories, referring to experts, noting who else agrees, asking thoughtful questions, and acknowledging other viewpoints are all strategies that will help convince people through enthusiasm and shared conviction. With the right approach, you can motivate and inspire action without issuing any demands. And appeal to emotions. Appealing to emotions is one of the most powerful ways to persuade without authority. After all, as human beings, we are emotional creatures. When you tap into someone's emotions, you can motivate them to listen, act, and make a change. Emotions drive our decisions and shape our beliefs every single day along the way. For example, according to neuroscientist Antonio Damasio, emotions are essential to rational thinking and normal decision making. So if you want to motivate or persuade, appeal to how people feel. Help them connect emotionally with your message or request. Some effective ways to appeal to emotions include share stories and examples that elicit emotions. Stories are highly memorable and help people visualize what you're saying. Describe situations that evoke feelings of inspiration, frustration, joy, or curiosity. Use visuals to help people feel what you're saying. Photographs, videos, illustrations, or even metaphors and analogies can help trigger emotional reactions and connections. Speak passionately about your topic. Your enthusiasm and energy will spread to your audience. Move them with the strength of your conviction. Nothing more powerful than conviction. Discuss the benefits and the outcomes people will gain. Highlight how their life will improve or what obstacles will be removed. Help them feel the positive impact and value. Address fears. Don't forget to address fears, doubts, and concerns. Acknowledge the uncomfortable emotions around change and new ideas. And then offer reassurance by explaining how you will mitigate risks and make the process easier. When you appeal to emotions, it allows you to motivate and persuade in a very humane way. You can influence others and gain buy-in by making heartfelt connections and helping people visualize the personal impact. So go ahead, appeal to those emotions and watch how effectively you can persuade without authority. Move your audience and they will move mountains for you. Make it memorable. Making your message memorable is key to gaining influence. People can't act on what they don't remember. Use the following techniques, for instance, to make your persuasion stick. Tell stories. Stories are powerful tools for embedding ideas in our memories. Share a story about when a similar idea worked well in the past. Stories captivate audiences and they help them visualize the impact of what you're proposing. Use vivid language. Choose emotive words and sensory details to bring your ideas to life. Speak of sizzling results, seamless processes, and vibrant teams. Help people feel the emotion and energy in what you say. Dynamic and energetic communication is contagious, trust me. Repeat yourself. Don't be afraid to reiterate your important points. Repetition is the mother of learning. So repeat your key messages, examples, and calls to action more than once. Use the rule of 3 and present information at least 3 times in different ways. People often need to hear something multiple times before it sticks. Use alliteration or rhyme. Playful language that rolls off the tongue tends to stick with us. Alliteration, which means repetition of initial consonant sounds, or rhyming phrases are highly memorable. For example, persuade and prevail, or motivate and dominate. Have some fun with language to make your message more impactful. Provide visuals. People love visuals. Share images, graphs, charts, slides, or videos to give people visual anchors for your ideas. Our brains process visual information extremely well. So giving people mental images to associate with your message will make it far more memorable. Use these techniques, you can gain influence through the power of suggestion and by making your message and meaning memorable in the minds of others. Help people visualize and feel the potential of your ideas, and they'll be far more open to being persuaded. And then we had some beforehand great FAQs again. So one of them was, how do I persuade someone without authority? We obviously went over that, but let me summarize it. The key is building rapport and trust. Smile, make eye contact, and actively listen to show you care about the other person. Focus on mutual benefits and how your idea can help them. Share stories and examples to help visualize the benefits. Be flexible in your thinking and open to compromise. If they say no, stay positive. You've planted a seed for the next time. You have to be able to take a no as well. The next question was, what are the principles of persuasion? Well, there are 6 key principles which psychologist Robert Cialdini outlined. Number 1, reciprocity. We feel obligated to return favors. Offer something small first to get help later. 2, scarcity. We want what's rare or dwindling. Highlight how limited opportunities or resources are. 3rd, authority. We respect authority figures. Build your credibility and your confidence. Quote experts or share credentials. Number 4, consistency. We like to act consistently with our values and prior commitments. Get initial buy-in or agreement and build from there. Number 5, liking. We prefer to say yes to people we know and we like. Develop rapport and find common ground. Smile, make eye contact, and most importantly, be genuine. Number 6 is social proof. We look to what others do to guide our behavior. Share how popular or well-reviewed something is. Use peer testimonials and influencer endorsements. That will get you the social proof. And another question was, how can I sound more persuasive? Well, use confident and assertive language. Say I will instead of I'll try. Speak clearly and with enthusiasm. Use an urgent and compelling tone to convey importance. Share specific facts, statistics. Repeat your key message multiple times in different ways. Ask rhetorical questions to prompt the audience to consider your position. Finish strong with a clear summary and a call to action. Practice, practice, practice. That's what you need to gain the mastery and comfort in persuading others. There's obviously much more to say to that, but here you have some tools and techniques to become an influencer regardless of your title or your position. Go out and try to persuade. Motivate and inspire others by connecting emotionally and appealing to their interests and values. Lead from within by gaining the trust and buy-in of those people around you. Success comes from empowering others. So share your vision and help people achieve their full potential. And together, you can accomplish amazing things through the art of influence. The only thing that's holding you back is yourself. So believe in your abilities and make a difference through the power of persuasion. I know you can get this right. And if you really want to get much deeper into persuasion and how you can improve with your communication, with your credibility, then obviously I got programs for that. Because you always have to understand that the art of persuasion comes with a set of skills, different puzzle pieces that need to come together. And being a strong leader, an executive, persuasion is an important part of the business. It comes in with sales. It comes in with communicating to your clients, communicating with potential clients. So the art of persuasion is really built out of different puzzle pieces that come together at the right time. And I'm happy to help you with that. If you want to know more, if you want to learn more about persuasion and you want to learn more about the skills that are necessary to get to a point where you can become a master of persuasion and influence, then you can connect to me and I will tell you more about it. But that's what I wanted to discuss with you this week, the art of influence, persuading without authority. And I hope that you have learned something today. I hope that there was something in the episode for you. Please share your comments, share the episode, rate it on Apple Podcast, but you can find my podcast on all other podcasting platforms as well. And I hope that you're going to have a good week to come. I will have an exciting guest next week, Friday, so look out for my Instagram account. I will announce it most probably on Tuesday. And other than that, I wish you a great week. Don't forget about the next episode tomorrow of the 15-Minute Monday. It's going to be an exciting one, and I'll chat to you soon, guys. Take care.